Hello, everybody. This is Inky Ezrox here, and I wanted to do a bingo for the Switch 2 presentation that's happening on Wednesday. Now, I don't know what it's gonna be like. No one knows what it's gonna be like, really, but we can get some good, educated guesses out of what they did last time with the Nintendo Switch. And, there have been predictions and leaks and things just, like, flying around everywhere, you know? So, what are we gonna do first? What are we going to come up with first? I've got this bingo list here. We're just gonna go through each square one at a time, kinda, and put down what we think is gonna happen, or at least what I think is gonna happen. I'm probably going to stream or do some sort of thing for the actual Switch 2 presentation, and we're gonna go through the bingo list at that time and see what we got right. Not like legitimately going for a bingo, I just want to see how many of these I get right. First thing, price. I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be $399.99. I don't think they're going to want to go over that. Thinking about, well, first off, the price is the most important part, obviously. Most people aren't going to be looking for the games. Most people are going to walk into the store, see that the Switch 2 is out, and decide whether or not to buy it right then and there. Or they're going to get something in their newsfeed about it. And they're not going to detail every individual game in each individual news story. They're going to be talking about the price and what it does. So, price is the most important thing. Nintendo's going to want to stick the landing on that. My numbers might be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But, I really do think it's going to be $400 because Switch Lite is $200, base Switch is $300, Switch OLED is $350. I don't think Nintendo's going to drop the price of the originals because, they haven't yet. And it's been 8 years. They're not going to wanna. If people are still buying it at that price, they're not gonna drop it. I want them to. It would be lovely if Switch Lite for $150, Switch for $250, Switch OLED for $300. But unfortunately, I don't think that's the reality. Given that the Switch 2 is probably not going to be as powerful as Series X. I mean the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, I don't think it's going to be as expensive. Definitely not expensive as PS5 Pro. The main thing that the Switch is going to be competing with, actually, I think, well, they're going to be competing with consoles too, but we're also got to take into account that we're going to be, we live in a post-Steam Deck, post-Asus ROG Ally world. People are really starting to prioritize these more customizable devices, adaptable really devices, and Steam Deck is I think that's $400. I'm not sure, and I don't know how much the ROG Ally costs. I should know, my dad has one, but I don't know. But yeah, I really think $400 is gonna be the sweet spot. If they go above that, it should be for a pack-in game or an extra controller. $450 is the max I'll pay for a Nintendo Switch 2. If they touch $500 territory, I don't think I'll get one. And I don't think it's gonna be $300. I think it's going to be more than that. So let's just put this down here. Let's get it good, nice, groovy. $399.99. There we go. Price. Launch day. I think launch day is going to be midsummer. I think we're gonna get it in July. July release. I don't know why I think that. I just think it will. I think with considering how Prime 4, Metroid Prime 4 is coming out this year, within 2025, and for all we know, that could just still be a Switch 1 title, but most people think, and I still think as well, that Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a cross-gen, and it's going to be like the main cross-gen title they're going to be like promoting. Like they've done this with Zelda before, how, you know, Twilight Princess was a GameCube and Wii game, or Breath of the Wild was a Wii U and a Switch game. I think they're going to use Prime 4 as their big blockbuster to fill the gap between Switch 1 and Switch 2. I think Switch 1 is going to be actually continue to be supported for a very long time. I don't think it's going away yet. I think we're going to get a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 4 situation with Switch 1. I think we're going to have this thing around for like a freaking decade. Just considering how massive the install base is, and considering the backwards compatibility, I think Nintendo's going to want to keep the Switch 1 afloat for as long as they can. Because, like, they did that with the 3DS, too. And the 3DS, like, even though the Switch was, like, super popular, the 3DS was, too. Most people I knew had a 3DS. Of course, you know, me and my weird group of friends had, you know, a Wii U as well, but most people didn't have a Wii U. Most people, a lot of people had a DS, so a good majority of them upgraded to a 3DS from that. I do legitimately think that upgrading is the best way to retain users from a previous generation, which is why backwards compatibility is so important, and why continuing to support old consoles is still really important. Yeah, anyways, off of that tangent, yeah, let's think about this backwards compatibility and forwards compatibility. The Switch 2 editions of games. We know they're coming. Nintendo accidentally, or on purposely, leaked it on the website. I think it actually, yeah, I think that's on purpose, because I think on the new Nintendo News app, Nintendo Today, they talked about Switch 2 versions. Switch 2 Edition is the specific term they used. Switch 2 Edition. I don't think they're going to be free. I really, really want them to be free. Like Xbox Smart Delivery, or the PS5 initially had, you know, free upgrades for their PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 cross-gen games. I love Nintendo, but I don't think they're going to be nice enough to give us free upgrades. I think it's going to be like a small fee, like, not like a Moneybags from Spyro small fee, not like a ridiculous, like, $20 upgrade. It's not going to be that. I think we're going to get like $5, $10 upgrade. We're going to get better frame rates, better resolutions, maybe like a little bit of extra content, maybe like improved loading times. I don't know. Yeah, Switch 2 editions. Switch 2. Oh, yikes! I spelled that wrong. 2 editions are going to be. I'm gonna say a $5 upgrade per game. I don't think they're gonna be free. I would love to be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put $5 bet on that. But yeah, we'll see. Speaking of those games, which ones are we going to see? I think you know, Nintendo is not known for being like super like into the tech. They're not gonna bring out like it's not gonna be like a PlayStation presentation where they brought out Mark Cerny to like talk about like PSSR and all that stuff. They're gonna talk about it for sure. They're going to do a brief hardware overview, but they're gonna be like, okay, bam, it can do this, bam, it can do this, bam, it can do this. Here's how much it can support. Here's how much it'll cost. Here's the games. I think most of this presentation is going to be games. What games are we going to see? I think we're going to see new Mario. New Mario. Like, a mainline 3D Mario would be the... Like, yeah, okay, let's specify. New mainline Mario. Like, not like a new Mario Party. I think we're going to get, like, an Odyssey type thing. We got Odyssey during the Switch 2017 presentation. It's been so long since Odyssey. I think we're going to get a new thing. I want Galaxy 3? Hell yeah. Are we gonna get it? No. It's gonna be something new. Don't know what that is. It's gonna be something new. It'd be really cool if it was Odyssey 2, though. I think that could be plausible. Who knows, though? I think it would be more likely they do a completely new thing than Odyssey 2, but I think Odyssey 2 is also a possibility. But speaking of Mario Kart, we're going to see Mario Kart. We already saw it. The best-selling game on Switch 1 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if I remember correctly. So, I think Nintendo's plan is, I think the smartest thing they can do is release Mario Kart 9. I think it'll be... Will it be called 9? I think it'll be called 9. Yeah, let's just say it's 9. I'll add an extra point if it's Mario Kart 9 as the title. But yeah, I think we're gonna get Mario Kart 9 alongside the Switch 2. I think it's going to be a launch title or a launch window title. It's the best-selling title on Switch 1, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is, that is. Everyone has played Mario Kart, and the best way to get people to buy the Switch 2 is to say, oh, hey, look, the new Mario Kart with all the new maps is on there. And if you don't want to buy the new Mario Kart, just play the old one on the new system. So, and I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is kind of like, you know, another bet I'm willing to make. I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is sort of the swan song of bringing back retro tracks. I sort of think Mario Kart 9 is going to be all new tracks. That's just me. I know the retro tracks have been a thing since Super Circuit, and like officially been a thing since DS, but I don't know, considering we got so many great retro tracks in the Booster Course Pass, I think they're going to wean off of the retro tracks for the next game. I love being wrong. We'll see. Shoot, new things. I do not know new 3D Zelda. I think that's a safe bet. We just got Tears of the Kingdom like 2 years ago. I would love to see a new 3D Zelda, but I don't think it's time yet. We just got Echoes of Wisdom as well, even though that's 2D. Like, that's still like a 3D. That's a 3D 2D. Like, that's like Link to the Worlds. Like, it's not a sprite-based game. Speaking of sprite-based Zelda games and Zelda remakes, I will beg and cry and plead for Oracle remakes. It's not going to happen, but I want them. I'm going to keep shouting from the rooftops, please give me Oracle of Seasons in HD. And Ages too, I guess, but mostly Oracle of Seasons. Definitely not biased, definitely not a game I played a lot of. Splatoon. I don't... how long has it been since Splatoon 3? It's been a couple years. I don't know. I think it's a safe bet to say we get a new Splatoon. Splatoon. Yeah, Splatoon 4. Let's just say it. I think we're gonna get Splatoon 4. I want it. It would be cool. Because then I would actually, you know, probably get it and play it. I played Splatoon 1 and then skipped 2 and 3. I don't know why. Probably because, you know, I played on Wii U first, and no one else played it on Wii U. So I'm like, who else likes this game? Nobody. I'm not gonna buy the next one, so there's no multiplayer. And then, of course, that's when Splatoon 2 and 3, everyone likes those. Yeah. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. I am not sure. I don't think they're gonna do Animal Crossing just yet. Considering Tomodachi Life is coming out soon, I don't think Animal Crossing is coming out just yet. That would be a really great game to have, like, around launch window. Considering how gangbusters, New Horizons did during the pandemic. You know, the world shut down, and everyone could still, you know, interact a little bit through, like, their little islands, and I think that's a really comforting thing for a lot of people, and I think Nintendo knows that. So, we're going to get Animal Crossing soon, just not now, because we're going to get Tomodachi Life first. Also, yeah, for historical archival purposes, and just for time placement purposes, this is being done on Monday the 31st. This is after the Switch 1 Direct that happened on the 27th of March 2024. But this is before the April 2nd Switch Direct. Yeah, so Animal Crossing, No Animal Crossing. I don't want to say too many of these predictions are going to be no. I feel like that's a little bit of a cop-out. Zelda's a big one. I think I'll make an exception for Zelda, because people are going to really want a new 3D Zelda. I don't think it's happening. Speaking of Zelda, though, ports. Are we going to finally get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess? Not yet. I think that's going to be, like, second, third year, if we get it. It also, okay, you know, that gives me a new prediction. NSO new consoles, particularly GameCube. I am not entirely sure on this one, because Nintendo is weird about which games get re-released on Virtual Console. Pretty consistently, it's like, you know, NES, Super NES, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, Game Boy Color. But that's on the Virtual Console, that's been in the past. On the Wii U, they went up to DS and Wii, but skipped GameCube. But they had Game Boy Advance, no Game Boy, Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color was only on 3DS at the time. But they both had NES, Super NES, and then I wanna say the Switch, not the Switch, the Wii U got, what was it called? The PC Engine? Or TurboGrafx? Whichever one that was. I know they're the same console, different region, but I don't remember which specifically which terminology they went with. I think they would have gone with TurboGrafx. Did they do Neo Geo? I know they did Neo Geo in the Wii. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But anyways, new consoles. I don't think we'll get Saturn or Dreamcast. I think we might get Game Gear, or a Sega Game Gear, or a Sega Master System. I don't think it's likely, but I think it would be cool if we did. GameCube is the big up in the air one. If we get GameCube, I think it'll be another extra tier. I don't think they're gonna put it on an expansion tier. I think they're gonna be a special Switch 2 tier for like GameCube and maybe DS as well. Considering they brought back DS for Wii U, and the 3DS had DS backwards compatibility. Yeah. Speaking of new tiers of NSO, what new things are they going to bring for NSO? You know, we've got Nintendo Today, we've got Nintendo Music, we've got, you know, we've got all the, like, you know, the basic, like, the, icons that you can get with the points, and you get the points from purchasing games, and all of this ties back to Nintendo Switch Online. Nintendo Switch on, they're really going to be pushing it for Switch 2. I actually don't think we're gonna see a price bump. I think that's going to stay the same, except for like a new tier. What I think we're going to see, native NS, so integration. What I mean by this, oh, I did get rid of the R the first time. Jeez. What I mean by that is that, you know, like, we get, like, the little notifications that, hey, your buddy's online. But, like, you gotta go into, like, a whole, like, separate app to, like, access, like, all the icons. You know, a lot of the apps that are on the phone, like Nintendo Today and, Nintendo Music, that's separate. I think we're gonna get all that on the Nintendo Switch too. I think, you know, Nintendo's been weird about putting stuff on phones. They're more open to it now, but at first they, like, dipped their toe in the water with Super Mario Run, Miitomo. Gosh, Miitomo, it's been a while. I think we're gonna get, like, Nintendo Music and Nintendo Today, and all these apps are going to be, like, just in the Switch 2 menu. I think we're going to be able to access them similar on, like, a bottom row, but, like, instead of opening up a separate application, it's just going to, like, the Switch menus, like the screenshots menu or settings. Yeah. Shoot, what else? Controllers. No more drift. That was a huge problem. They know it's a huge problem. And they know that shit can fly once, that shit can't fly twice. So I think Nintendo's gonna be fixing the sticks for the Switch 2. I know like a lot of people like making fun of like the ooh, they like zoomed in on the stick and spun it around a couple times during like the initial reveal. Like I know I sound like a like a Charlie Day Pepasovia crackpot reading into it. I don't think that was a tease for it, but I think Nintendo is still going to address drift. Please no drift. I don't think it's going to be a Hall effect sticks on the Joy-Cons, but I think we're going to be getting some sort of special looking stick in some way. Some sort of drift-free stick. That'd be really nice. Capture button. What does the capture button do? Or the C button. A lot of people say the C button is the capture button. It's like this new extra button that's on one of the Joy-Cons. People don't know what it does. Some people are saying it allows you to connect with a Switch 1 and just and I think it works with it might work with a USB-C port as well. You get a Switch 1, you have a buddy with the Switch 1, you got a buddy with the Switch 2. The Switch 2 player shares their game onto the Switch 1 and they can play concurrently. I think that'd be really cool. I like that idea a lot. What else could it be? A lot of people think it's like a capture, like a screenshot, not like a screenshot thing or a video clip thing, but like some sort of like multimedia streaming sort of integration or recording integration. I don't know what it is. Who knows? We're gonna get what it is. I think special. Yeah, and I think for my prediction on what the special funny button is gonna do, I think, actually, I think it might help the Switch swap between like different modes, like maybe the mouse mode. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Special button. What would it do? Who knows? We'll come back to that one. Oh, that one's still green. If you don't know, I actually copied this template from a previous bingo card I did for Spider-Man No Way Home, actually. Me and my buddy, we got together and like predicted what was gonna happen. We didn't get a bingo, but we got close. And we denoted the green for the ones that were correct. That's why they're the green. I'm gonna go with red for correct, I think, just because Nintendo's color is red. Even though red usually means like, I think we're just gonna use red for this. New things. Mouse mode. We're gonna get an in-depth look at mouse mode. Are we gonna get improved rumble? New rumble? Better rumble? Nah. I think that'll be about the same. What else are we going to potentially get? Let me think. Third-party games. I don't think I'm going to spend too long on them, but I think we'll get third-party games. I think a lot of popular games are going to get ported, like, immediately. Yeah, good point. A lot of people have been talking about, like, stuff like the new Final Fantasy games coming on the Switch. I don't think 16's coming to Switch, but I think Final Fantasy Remake might. Yeah, let's just say Final Fantasy yeah, what power level do I think this console's gonna be at? I think this is gonna be like a base PS4. Yeah. Like a base PS4 situation. Maybe a PS4 Pro. But we're not gonna be approaching 9th gen just yet. I think we'll get close. We'll get comparable. we're gonna get something that'll make it easier for developers to port rather than absolutely like butchering fraud out of their hands. I think what would be awesome if the Switch 2 is like about the same power level. Yeah, let me make this a thing. Same similar power level to PS4/X phone. Yeah, I think PS4 and Xbox One is going to be about the target power level. I don't think it's going to be over 9,000. Yeah, cool. Okay, we got 10 more spaces to get through. Shoot. A lot of people have been saying, you know, Hades 2. Nah, I think they're going to release that on PC and just stick with that before they put it on consoles. Although it would be really cool to see. I would love that. Capcom might want, you know, I don't know if Capcom's gonna port the new Monster Hunter Wilds game to Switch. I would love that. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but what they might port, Street Fighter 6. I do think we might see a Street Fighter 6 port. Yeah. Shoot. Are we going to see Smash? I'm not sure on that one. You know, it's been a bit since Ultimate. Sakurai's talked about making new stuff for, something, but I think he might want to, you know, back off a little bit from Smash. Smash Ultimate felt like a real good, like, crowning achievement for Sakurai to bow out on and give the series to him. I know it's his baby, I know he loves Smash, but he's also been working on that game essentially non-stop since 2008. Different iterations of it. Because, you know, like, he went through development hell doing... Smash 64 is essentially a proof of concept for Nintendo. Smash Melee was development hell, like, literally 9 months. Brawl, they didn't even ask him until after Nintendo revealed the game. And ask Sakurai to direct that game. I think they asked him partway through Smash 4's development too, or like around, you know, like after they like initially like announced it, like they got him on, and then they started making like the trailers and things. Sorry, I'm going way off topic. Well, on topic, but sort of off topic. Are we gonna see Smash? Shit. Like an enhanced edition of Smash Ultimate. A lot of people have been saying that. That'd be really cool, but you know, why would Nintendo like re-release Smash Ultimate again? You know, because they're gonna have the original on the eShop. They're going to have, you know, cartridges of the original game still floating around out there. I don't think they're gonna cut down on Switch 1 cartridge production just yet. So are we going to get a new Smash? I'm not sure. New Smash tease. I don't think we're gonna get any like info. I think we'll get a tease, if anything. We'll just get like the same thing we did with like, you know, like the Inklings, like zoom in on that Smash logo that they see in their eyes, and then like you get like Mario and Link, and like you see everybody. Like something kind of similar to that. Like we might get like, I don't know, starts with like Mario running through a field or whatever, and instead of jumping to hit a block, he jumps and hits Donkey Kong or something. I don't know. That'd be cool. Mario Party. Nintendo loves pumping out that money. You can get one. Yeah. I'm not sure. But I do think so. We're gonna get more Prime. Metroid Prime. Or Vintage. All. we'll get it in fall, I think. Yeah, like a late, like an early fall, like a September and October. Let's think about that. They'll go into more depth about Metroid Prime 4. They'll, actually give us, like, some of those, like, you know, this is how cool it looks on Switch 2. Or, like, cool things that it benefits from on Switch 2. No OLED screen, it's gonna be LCD. I think they'll come up with another OLED model halfway through the console's life, and that's going to be their second thing. And they'll also do a Switch 2 Lite. I think they're just going to repeat the exact same thing that they did with Switch 1, because it worked out so well. And then just slowly phase out the Switch 1. They'll keep it around for a long time, but they'll slowly phase it out. And then midway or close to the end of Switch 2's life, midway through Switch 2's life, they'll start getting rid of Switch 1. I want it to stick around for the entire generation, but who knows. But yeah, LCD screen as well, not OLED. That'll be a separate model. What else? We already got Rhythm Heaven, we already got Tomodachi Life, we already got, like, Dragon Quest. Are we gonna show a new one? The new Dragon Quest? Nah. Shoot, what else did we get? We got, like, another really good big game. Oh well, I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually. I'll remember it. I think it was Prime 4 we were streaming to. You know. Okay, what else? What's next? We've got yeah, I don't know what else to really, like, think as a prediction. Let me think on that for a sec. If you guys have any predictions, please leave me in the comments, because I would love to discuss that with you. Also, oh boy, we're approaching on, 30 minutes here. So yeah, I'll try and speed it up. What else? Console colors? Nah, I think we're just gonna get one, two, I think we'll definitely come out with, like, extra models and more, with different games or Switch Online subscriptions and things, but it's just gonna be just one model that everyone gets at the beginning. Packing game. Re-download Astro. I don't think it's going to be a big thing. It'll be like a 1-2 switch type thing. Yeah. We already did a price. Accessories, like new Pro Controller. New Pro Controller. Not like a super overhauled one. It's going to be relatively the same as the Switch 1 Pro Controller, but it might have, cool looking colored grips or colored buttons or triggers or like the stick thingy around the sticks to match with the new Joy-Con 2s. Joy-Con 2 maybe? I don't know what they'll call it. Magnets. They're going to talk about the magnet connection for Joy-Cons. I think we'll get a subtly redesigned Light. Hopefully, it would be even better if we got, like, slightly new. Yeah, that's a given. Let me also make this more specific. A magnet connection for Joy-Cons explained, as in they talk about how yeah, they're gonna explain how like the Joy-Con magnets are going to work and like specifically demonstrate that it's not going to break. I think we'll get home menu music / themes ? Question mark? Hopefully. That'd be cool. And lastly, we're going to get new Nintendo IP based off of that playtest. The weird, suspicious playtest that Nintendo did like a couple months back. And, people were supposed to not be allowed to talk about it. They talked about it anyway, but in very vague terms. I think it was like some like global building thing. I don't know. I didn't play it, but we'll get a brand new IP. Maybe as a launch title. Maybe we'll get like a new arms. Maybe we'll get legs. Who knows? But yeah, this is my Nintendo Switch bingo card. Mouse mode. Explain. Yeah, we're gonna get like specific games talking about mouse mode, I think. Special button. Explain. Switch 1. Yeah, that's what I'll have to say for that. Number drift. Yeah, I'm just gonna like clarify these games. Flash. Yes. 4. Memory 3 Zelda. Oh yeah, another thing about 3D Zelda. What's DOTW? Like, we'll get, like, a deluxe special edition of Breath of the Wild with every DLC or something. Or, like, maybe, like, that'll come as, like, a special promotional thing for the Switch 1 owners, or, like, for, the upgrade for Switch 2. Also for July release, July 1st. No, July 2nd. There we go. July 2nd. Yeah. I think this is it. I think this is going to be our frickin' bingo list. That's my predictions. I'm sorry if it was like, rambly and long-winded, but this is what I could come up with. If you guys have any predictions, please tell me. If you guys agree with my predictions, please tell me in the comments. If you guys think my predictions are bad, please tell me in the comments. I think I'll get a quarter of these right. I'm gonna say I'll get... The ones I feel really, really, really confident on are $399.99, Mario Kart 9, native NSO apps, mouse mode. Yeah, I feel, you know what? I feel pretty good about most of these. I really do feel pretty good about most of these. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the Switch 2 is. It'll be cool. We're gonna get it April 2nd, which is Wednesday, which is 2 days from now, at 9 AM EST. So I'll wake up and probably I'll react to that, and yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. It'll be cool. I think the Switch 2 is going to be a cool system. Yeah, that's probably about it. Thank you for watching, especially this long. I know it was rambling. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support, channel, and we're right on the cusp of a new console generation. This is it. The hype is real. The hype has reached unimaginable levels. In just a few days, we'll know what Nintendo's gonna do, and that'll be really, really cool. Because, you know, I think Nintendo has a really good chance to shake things up and put Sony and Microsoft on the back foot. I think actually, yeah, here's another thing. Just like another last minute prediction, doesn't have to be on the bingo. I think Xbox is gonna really embrace the Switch 2. I know Xbox says they're like working on an Xbox handheld, but depending on how that does, I think they know hardware isn't their strong suit, or like they make good hardware, but you know, Xbox has been really focusing on getting all the games on other platforms, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Xbox stuff on Switch 2. PlayStation, not so much. I don't think PlayStation will make a handheld. I think Xbox might. I really want PlayStation to make a handheld. The PSP is sick, but oh well. But Nintendo has a chance to do something really cool here. Something that is a good comparable product that is comparable to a Steam Deck, but with special Nintendo exclusive features that make it cool. Less expensive than Xbox and PlayStation, but somewhat similar power to last gen. Yeah. If I think Nintendo does that, I think Nintendo follows some of these goals and gets their system at a low price with lots of good games for lots of people. I think they can repeat the Switch 1 generation. The Switch 1 wasn't a lightning in a bottle. It was a confluence of excellent factors that just made the Switch 1 such a well-designed console that it could live on and be as successful as it was. That's why the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 4, the DS, the Wii all did so well. And the Switch is part of that now. With the Switch 2, you can repeat the Switch 1. I think we're in for an excellent generation, and I think we are going to get a really, really good console. I think this is it. I think Nintendo is back.